In 2016, one of the French professors was fascinated by the beauty of ancient Taiwan tiles, so she helped us apply for tiles recognition on UNESCO's list. Taiwanese use them to decorate buildings that appear main and exterior roofs, where they are most visible. The owners of the building just wanted to show off because tiles were expensive goods in the market and regarded as a symbol of wealth in early times.
The specialty of ancient Taiwan tiles is Taiwanese craftsmen with a spirit of courage and innovation. They make tiles have a breakthrough from original ones. Craftsmen contribute great ingenuity in the creation of Taiwan tiles. This is how the unique culture was born.
They put a lot of efforts into totems of tiles. Every different totem has its own meaning. For instance, fruits symbolize harvest, so they are very popular in cultural society. Animals such as kiwi represent auspiciousness and lofty status. Flowers like peony stand for the rich and prosperous family. Tiles mainly come in two forms. One is two-dimensional tile. Craftsmen usually use these tiles into a continuous and repetitive form, which is suitable for a large coverage to achieve an overall aesthetic. The other one is three-dimensional tile. Usually a single pattern constitutes a piece of work.
However, these tiles lasted for only 20 years, then they gradually disappeared. Due to the start of World War II, the company stopped to produce tiles. After the war, no factory was willing to produce again because the cost of each piece was too expensive, and businessmen did not know the prospects of tiles in the market. In addition, many of Taiwan's old tile decorated houses are neglected and in disrepair despite their sentimental value. Also, some have been demolished to make way for reconstruction and urban renewal.
These are the reasons why we can now often see tiles on the street in modern days. This traditional handicraft was closely related to people's lives in the past. They also record history.
However, with the passing of time, ancient Taiwan tiles are disappearing and have been forgotten by society. The luckiest thing is that there are still a small group of people trying to preserve them from the demolition of old tiled houses. They think these beautiful tiles are worthy to preserve.
These tile enthusiasts negotiate with the owners of buildings that are being torn down for permission to get the decorative tiles from the roof ridge and walls.
They not only rescue the tiles from the old houses, but also repair them. When they bring back the cement blocks of tiles from old houses, they carefully grind off the cement and use a special formula to remove 100 years mold and restore brilliance. Each tile takes 1 to 2 months to repair. Their goal is to make the beauty of ancient Taiwan tiles be seen again.
There is a museum about ancient Taiwan tiles, which is located in Chiayi City. The founder is a fan of old buildings and tiles. When he learned that an old timber building was going to be torn down, he decided to buy it and established the Tile Museum. The almost 200 square meter museum now has over 1,600 tiles, 20 pieces of tile furniture, plus an application exhibition upstairs. The museum also has complete historical information for people to explore. Whoever enters the museum will be impressed by the beauty of tiles. There are lots of decorative tiles on the wall and tile furniture.
Besides, the atmosphere is very comfortable. It makes people slow down the pace and enjoy the display. I stroll in the museum and watch every piece of tile carefully. I find that, in addition to repaired tiles, there are some broken tiles. The strong contrast makes me admire people who devote to preserving tile culture. I appreciate these people.
I also like the interior design of the museum. It is exactly the design in the good old days. In fact, the building itself is antique. Woods are used as materials to construct this timber house. When you go upstairs, you can hear the sound of wood. You will fully feel the edge of this old building.
On the second floor, many pieces of tile furniture greet your eyes. In particular, the big bed seems extravagant. It shows how tiles are used as the decoration on furniture and creates a gorgeous retro space of classical Baroque style.
While visiting, there is a guide introducing passionately. We asked him some questions about his opinion of ancient Taiwan tiles.
He tells us the story about how the director fell in love with ancient Taiwan tiles.
In the director's youth, he met a girl he liked and wanted to chat with her. He found that there were some beautiful tiles on the roof of her house. He used them as a topic of conversation. Since that, the director of the museum has been fascinated by the beauty of tiles. He started to collect them. One day, he noticed that tiles were getting less and less. He thought he had to preserve them and open for everyone to visit. He wanted to let everyone know we had such a wonderful culture in Taiwan.
The guide also shares his favorite patterns with us. It is very hard for him to decide. He says that every tile is very pretty for him. Different tiles have different styles like European style or Taiwanese style. There is a kind of tiles that he particularly likes. As long as you put these tiles in different angles and then combine, you will see a different pattern.
When we pick up an unpainted tile, we figure out that the back of tile is carved. The guide tells us that it can prevent tiles from cracking when they are making through high temperature heating.
Visiting this museum is just like walking through the past. We can experience the lifestyle of old people. There is a strong connection between tiles and the memories of home in their mind.
For us, it is our first time to see so many tiles. Our hearts vibrate to the beauty of them. Thank the director for preserving tiles and setting up the museum. His efforts make us be able to look back at history of ancient Taiwan tiles.
If you visit Jiayi, we strongly recommend you to come here. It is worth watching.
Every tile has its own story. However, the memories of ancient Taiwan tiles are fading away in our generation. After listening to today's episode, why don't we pay more attention to these tiles? If we have a chance to visit the old house, perhaps we can notice the existence of tiles and no longer consider them meaningless things.
This is the end of our show. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye bye.